Well, what's up, guys? It's your boy ChasmRift here, and today we got the Press Start Podcast, week number 15, I believe, and I'm here with the one and only Big A.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the universe didn't want us to have our episode.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
you
even
could.
fucking sick.
Yeah, you want to just go through the rundown of what happened?
Yeah, I had like audio issues because I I'm a dumbass pretty much, and then I was on top of being sick with the fucking bad timing, and then you just had some Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah, and earlier when I was actually available to record, I did not get an update at all from you on Discord nor Snapchat. I got the update after I left my house. So, yeah, it seems like this episode's not meant to be, but screw it, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, fuck the universe in the ass.
Yeah. So this is actually going to segue into our first topic, but this is a special announcement for those 5 people who watch this podcast. I will actually be posting a Dragon Ball FighterZ guide by this Friday.
Thank you to those 5 people. Thank you.
Shout out to you guys. Actually, you guys are real MVP. Whether you're listening to it in full or using background noise, shout out to you guys. But
Yeah.
if by this Friday I do not have a Dragon Ball FighterZ guide posted up here, I will actually let somebody in the community, most likely from Discord, I don't trust the other subs as much, I'll let someone from the Discord take over my channel for a full week, and they can post whatever they want for that full week. So, yeah, I guess fingers crossed that I don't upload if you're one of those lucky few. But, anyway, speaking of DBFZ, how about we hop on in to our first topic, and that is the new DLC is confirmed for Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I know we talked about this in the past, Zamasu and Vegito, but Bandai Namco actually revealed them. And they said these guys will be dropping May 31st. Are you excited, Big A? Because we both enjoyed the DLC pack that was Bardock and Broly.
Hell's motherfucking yeah. They didn't really say much about Vegito Blue, but they had like all the few Zamasu supers and the ultimate. And also, they said it was going to be a $35 thing that they would include both characters, but probably most likely would be $5 each.
They are going to be $5. They'll mention it was the Fighter's Pass. If you got the season pass, you will get all 8 characters coming out for the season that we know of for just $5 less. So, basically, you'll be paying for 7 characters and getting the 8th one for free if you were to break it down. But yeah, you're right about the whole breakdown. They kind of didn't show much from Vegito, but if you did look at some outside sources, there were like gameplay of Vegito Blue, and I think I speak for both of us and 95% of the community when I say we're all looking forward to Vegito Blue over Zamasu.
Yes, just because fucking Saiyans
are
master race.
They really are. They really are. Blonde hair, blue eyes. But I think you know the issue with
shit. Oh shit! My mustache just grew in.
Your mustache just grew in.
Yeah,
I mean, there is like a Buddhist peace symbol out there that I've been eyeing. We should probably use that for our next podcast episode.
You know, this channel is all about peace, bro.
Yep.
Just put that shit on there. I'm sure everyone will support it.
Yep. I like raising my hand up like a 45-degree angle, but you know.
Yeah, just to check that the grass is just like the perfect.
Yeah, you got measured air temp, but
yeah.
You know what's crazy about like Vegito? You know how Android 16 and Broly kind of been hated by the community? Well, Vegito has their properties of being hated, which is command grabs. As in, he could grab you and you can't block it. He has like 2 or 3 of them that are confirmed.
Oh shit! Well,
it's gonna be fun playing online.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bitch, but I'm still excited, man, because they didn't show any of his moves. So
yeah.
Besides confirming the command grabs.
Well, I'm excited. Like from what I've seen, his moves are a combination of Goku's and Vegeta's, but mostly Vegeta's, which is good. But it come out May 31st, so in 4 days for us. And you know what else comes out very soon, which is in 2 weeks, and that is E3. And speaking of E3, do you want to give out the question of the day to the peoples?
Yeah, the question of the day is, will E3 live up to the hype?
Yeah, guys, we actually want to hear your opinion, because 2 weeks, E3 comes out, we know a ton of people are making videos, huge gameplay reveal is going to be happening, Maybe we hear news from Pokemon, Call of Duty, Rockstar, etc. But hey, you know, Ubisoft on the other hand, it seems like they're not afraid to announce early on what's going to be shown at E3. You want to take over for this article?
Yeah, man, they sure aren't. They got a whole lot of stuff cooking up in just 2 weeks from now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in addition to last time we kind of covered the Division 2, they also got Beyond Good and Evil 2, Skull and Bones, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, Transference, and even though these games have only been shown in either alphas or just a little bit of gameplay, fans definitely want more. So Ubisoft got their hands pretty full for this upcoming
Yeah,
E3.
I'm actually intrigued about what they're doing because Ubisoft, for a time being, believe it or not, they used to be the EA of the community, as in being universally hated by people for not listening to the fans, and that's because they milked, you know, Assassin's Creed. They kind of milked the Tom Clancy series, etc. But it seems like they're really pushing for this because Rainbow Six is a popular game. They plan on having a 10-year cycle, and to see the Division 2 coming out very soon, I'm personally excited to see what they got. How do you feel about Ubisoft as a company as a whole in your personal experience?
Man, in my personal experience, it's been a while since I played their games. It's more of the old school games that I used to play on theirs. But it's for that exact reason, like you just said, them being hated in the past. But looks like they're making good, man. This is a lot of stuff that they got going on.
Yeah, like I'm excited for Ubisoft because it seemed like after the disaster that was of Assassin's Creed Unity, um, yeah, I should have never mentioned that game. It seemed like they learned their lesson, as in the Assassin's Creed franchise. They actually learned to take more time to develop the games. Like, yeah, they're already doing it like 3 or 4 years in advance, but now they put more time in it, and people love Assassin's Creed Origins. Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege. Like they're pushing out updates and content for people to love the game, and they still got millions of players playing on all platforms. Hell, we even know guys who, if we go to our school right now and talk about Rainbow Six, they'll say they play it. They may not be good, but they'll say they play it. And I don't know. I just think they're really great as a company, and I'm looking forward to their press conference on June 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So 11 a.m. our time.
I think so.
Yeah. Californians are always 2 hours behind us because they're 2 steps behind us all the time.
Yeah, we are Central Time guys, so correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, PT. I think PT means Pacific time. Usually PST is used, but screw it. Um, are you looking forward to this coming October?
Hell the fuck yeah.
All right, I'm glad you are because by this article by Variety, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a highly detailed world full of player choice, and I am glad to hear that because Red Dead Redemption 1 is universally praised by both fans, critics, and just anybody in between alike. And to hear that Red Dead Redemption 2, after what, over a decade of being like rumored, we're actually finally about to get it, and it's better than what we were expecting. Dude, do you like games that have an open world experience where player choice matters, or do you like games that are just linear? Okay, I assume you're clapping.
I mean, it's fuck, bro. Like literally, when I opened this article, I was trying to find out the juicy bits, and it was just like the whole article was just like, "This is a great game. This is why this is a great game." Fuck, this is just amazing. Just because, like what you just said about the player choice, but just the trailer, man. Holy shit!
Yes.
The gang rolls into the bank, and then as soon as they get out of it, they're being pursued by police and bounty hunters, where their choices matter. Morgan, I believe he's the main playable character that you
Mm-hmm.
play as, leads and cares for the gang. You play as him, and there's no cutscenes because yet again, you choose what the fuck goes on, and like,
Bro,
what the hell,
this gives me a God of War vibe with the no
man?
cutscenes.
I just need this, especially because it's made by Rockstar. I just need this in my life.
Mm-hmm. Like Rockstar, we both know what Rockstar could do. Your GTA 5 grind. How is that going for you,
Yeah,
bro?
come on. Yeah, I mean, I'm still stuck on level 30, but come on. there's not a lot of people playing. It's kind of hard to do the missions, but
I mean,
that's my fault, not their fault. But anyways, fuck, this is gonna be so worth it.
hell yeah, man. Like, I've known people playing Red Dead Redemption since grade school. Like, I want to say middle school was when the original Red Dead Redemption came out, and I remember that game will always be on the shelves at a GameStop in a good way because that game is in such high demand. They just have to keep pushing out more and more sales to the stores, man. Like, I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do here because Rockstar over time has been like wine. The longer you gotta wait, the better, man. And you know what? Their do yourself attitude, like a real Rockstar they have, is incredible. Because some companies they'll fold the moment they get a little controversy. Rockstar, they're like, nah, man, that makes us get even more sales.
Yeah, man, you right about that aging process. Right now, they're like a fucking exclusive, like
Mm,
$10,000 wine that's gonna be poured out to the whole fucking world to
yep,
enjoy.
and it was made by I forgot his name, the Greek mythology god, the god of wine, Dionysius. I forgot how to pronounce it. It's made by him, basically. And like you said, it's exclusive wine, and this wine is golden. We'll say that.
Got just a god, a mythical god shat out this game. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
just that's it. There's nothing else to say.
Hell yeah. Uh, we can move on to the next topic. I don't know how we moved from Red Dead Redemption to the Nintendo 64. I guess we could just say Battlefield 5 is coming out, and it's made by EA. Enough said. All right. The next topic.
I
This is. Hmm?
I can't really breathe, so it's kind of hard to like. It's kind of hard to fucking say anything after that. Go ahead.
All right. I'll take over as you try to catch your breath over there. This article is made by CNET.com. We actually used them in the past, I believe, for articles. And this is about the Nintendo 64 Classic, and it may be on its way based on trademark reveals. So, recently, Nintendo has filed for a trademarking that was found out by Japanese Nintendo for their 1996 64-bit software, the N64. And the trademark seems to suggest that they will bring out a Classic Edition, kind of like how the NES Classic came out, then the Super NES Classic came out, which people call the SNES. And those consoles, they sold like hotcakes. I cannot lie. And it seemed like that's Nintendo's way of having us get our virtual console. So, as the rumors seem to be, it seems like this will be the Nintendo 64 Classic coming out, as they did do a trademark for the controller. However, companies do trademark old IPs just to protect their property, kind of like the lady forgot to do with the fidget spinner, and the fidget spinner became popular because there was no trademark to it. Big A, if you're alive over there, do you think this is the N64 Classic, or do you think this is just a trademark renewal for the old N64?
I hope it's not a trademark renewal because I remember, like way back in the old podcast episode, I mentioned how I'd like to see like a new GameCube.
Yeah,
Like,
the first episode we ever had was the GameCube Mini we
oh,
talked about.
that was the first one.
Yes, it was the first
Yeah,
one.
I reading this article really brought me back because I remember I said if they came out with a GameCube, I'd fucking buy 4 of them just to put them next to each other.
Yeah, just make it like an extra size
Yeah,
GameCube.
exactly.
Yes, TBT to the original podcast, everybody.
Man,
Oh
holy
man,
shit, that was an old ass topic. But
man,
yeah,
that was
I really hope they do it.
yeah, that's like four and a half months ago we talked about that. But I hope it is because if this is the N64, then we're just one step closer to the GameCube Mini, like we want. Like,
Yes. Yeah, fuck this. Wait for the GameCube Mini.
I mean, bro, I'm excited. Like, if this is the N64, I got an extra controller up in this house. I mean, I doubt it would be able to fit in their N64 like Mini, but dang it, if this is N64, I want it, and I want Star Fox on it. I want Pokemon Stadium on it. I want all of that. The issue with this article said is some games like GoldenEye and whatnot is made by Rare Games, and that's owned by Microsoft. Do you think Microsoft will actually allow Nintendo to just put these games on the Mini, or do you think Microsoft's going to take a Sony route?
That's tough. Based off of the Xbox, Xbox broadening their, peripherals, and I guess being more inclusive, maybe they'll let them do it. But I don't see it, man. Companies don't just let companies do whatever they want.
Honestly, I'll have to say Microsoft. would do it. And it's like you said, based off their track record, I 100% can see it. If anything else, I have to say they're the more open-minded, more liberal, if you would, out of the three companies when it comes to gaming.
Yeah,
Nintendo,
definitely.
Nintendo is flip-floppy. Like it's like they're independent. Some days they're very conservative with their ideals, as in marketing to just one audience. Other days they're like, all right, let's go all in and be crazy creative. And then you got Sony over here, who they know what the money is at. They know how to manage a business, but they aren't that inclusive, as you said earlier. But I personally see it happening, especially with Phil Spencer spearheading the Xbox into the right direction. And this Microsoft management could probably even benefit from this if the sales go well.
Yeah, maybe since they're open minded, um, I see like maybe a business deal going on for sure, but not just letting them do whatever they
I
want.
mean,
But I
if
guess
anything,
let's be optimistic.
if I was Microsoft, I would allow them to do it, and then based off the sales and the reception from both gamers and reviewers, I'll take that as an opportunity to actually reveal like a rare games classic, kind of like how some of these other companies would just like bring out games like the Sega Dreamcast collection, like bring out old games and just have them remastered or just playable for their current gen, like all like the Street Fighter games, for example, we talked about a few weeks ago. 14 Street Fighter games into one disc. If Microsoft sees that this N64 classic sells well and their games are spearheading like the amount of retention to it, they could do that and get a ton of sales to their Xbox, especially if they make it exclusive. Now that right there is some that's some crazy thinking right there.
I mean, yeah, it's very optimistic, but we'll just have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, only time will tell. If the N64 classic comes out this year, I reckon we have to wait till 2019 at the earliest, 2020 at the latest for a GameCube Mini. And when there's a GameCube Mini, I'll be ready to fight people in line for one.
I will knock someone out if I see them
I
like
mean, the
behind
fact
the.
that I was gonna say the fact that back when GTA 5 came out, like the night of a launch, a couple dudes actually walked up to people in line at a GTA 5 launch, and they robbed them. They took their phones and their wallets as they tried to buy their video game at a GameStop. If people are willing to do that, just imagine what people would do for a little bit of nostalgia.
Yeah, I if someone were to like buy the last one at whatever store I'd go to, I'd like follow them home.
Bruh. I'll just be ready on the pre-orders. The moment they say GameCube Classic on the listing for any store, I'm gonna call them
I
up and
already
say I
bought
want the
four.
pre-order.
I already bought four. Like
Bruh.
as soon as that shit happens, bro, there's already four waiting for me.
I think when the NES Classic actually came out, they had a one sale per limit per customer or two. Um, for some odd, yeah, for some odd reason, Nintendo does surge supply, which actually works in their favor because that means more demand. Supply demand is kind of like a seesaw. And the NES, the Super NES, and the Amiibos, you can only buy like one or two at most from the store. You could, in theory, just walk out the store and walk back in, but odds are someone else would be in line trying to buy the same product as you is. Oh well,
Wow.
only time will
I
tell.
hope I can buy four. Well, whatever.
I mean, we could call up multiple stores, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna like. It's pretty convenient where I am, so I'll just hit up all those spots.
you got Best Buy, you got a GameStop, you got
Target.
Target, as I like to say it.
Yeah,
Um,
everything is around here.
lucky bastard. Uh, all right, let's move on to our next company because for once we're not actually talking about Microsoft that much. This is an article from independent.co.uk, so a United Kingdom article. Yay! And this is about the PlayStation 4 is in the quote unquote final phase of its life, says Sony, offering clues for PS5 release date. So for this article, basically what happened was Sony had a earnings call recently, and when they were speaking to their investors, they told their investors that based on the life cycle of the PlayStation 4, that the hardware is getting old and that it's starting to reach the end of its life cycle in a call to their own investors. That's the main gist of this article. Like there really isn't much else to mention about it. We'll get into it later. But Big A, do you think Sony was wise to tell this to people or to even come out and say something like this? Do you think this is bold, or is this foreshadowing anything, or is this BS?
I don't know. This one's kind of eerie because later in the article, I believe it's this article, they say that they're crouching down so they can
Mm-hmm.
jump higher later. Um, Probably alluding to the PS5 that's gonna be like bigger and better, just like every new generation console is. But at the same time, I don't know, man. That's kind of weird. Trying to like kill off the PS4 like that. To me, in my opinion, I think they're just trying to push the PS5 from the get go.
I think they're just trying to. I was listening to Review Tech USA talk about this. Shout out to that guy. I actually love his content, even when it's half the time it's just him like making random jokes. Um, I honestly think this was just them just trying to like do damage control, trying to explain to investors why sales were down. Because like in this article says, in one of the second to last paragraphs, Sony has sold more than 75 million consoles in the 5 years since it was released. You know how big that is? That is 15 million consoles per year on average. And the thing is, last year they sold 19 million. 2 years ago they sold 20 million. That means the sales rose since the first 3 years this thing has been out. And they're trying to tell investors that it's dying out. If you think about the sales of Nintendo Switch, which is like what 18 million right now, Sony outsold them last year, and the Switch came out as a brand new console, and everyone is losing their mind about the Switch. So I think Sony is really just damage controlling to their investors about the PS4's life cycle because they're dominating the market. I'm not a math major, but 19 is bigger than 18. You catch my drift?
Yeah, I definitely get you there. But like, are you sure this has nothing to do with them trying to like, saying, "Oh well, the PS4 is dying, so you know what's next. You know what to get your money for."
As a business major, learn to like market properly, and you have to be able to negotiate well. And from my analytical and like marketing perspective, because I'm trying to be a marketing major now, I don't think they were doing this to just push out the future. Because if the PS5 comes out in 2021, as this article is is like speculating, or even 2020, you're really just leaving 2 years, or even just a year and a half of dead air leading up to your console. Like I just don't see them like with the steamroll of momentum they got here, and the rise of sales of like God of War, the other exclusives. The PS4 Slim just came out last year. I just don't see them like personally killing it off right now, especially since the fans would be pissed if they spend $400 on a PS4 Pro, and then 2 years later, oh yeah, the PS5 comes out and it's better than your PS4 Pro, and it costs I don't know $500. That's the business side of me saying that. The gamer side of me, I agree. I think the PS5 4 is slightly dying out because Nintendo and Microsoft are actually making bigger moves to catch up to them. That's just my 2 cents on it.
I definitely understand the business side, and your explanation was pretty helpful because I understand that. But at the same time, I don't think they're gonna like fucking kill it right now.
Yeah,
Like
no, they won't.
my complete opinion would be like, oh well, this is just a notice, guys. We're planning 2020, 2021. So don't expect when we get close to getting the PS5 released, don't expect the PS4 to have any new stuff or anything like that.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I seen it as. But
honestly, if they would have said that, I would be completely fine with it. But like evidence just says like 8 years is the average was last generation's console life cycle. This year we're just hitting the 5th year, so we still got 3 more years to go. So I just think that's weird. They said that.
well, it has something to do with their, the metaphor that they use, the quote unquote crouch to jump up higher in the future. And yeah, I guess we'll see what the PS5 has in store for us.
I mean, like Sony must be on some crack with their recent moves, and I just don't want people to think that this is like a anti-Sony podcast or anything like that. Because we love gaming in general.
Yeah,
But
man, no, I'm just honestly, I don't even know because
no, I am
this
very
is kind
puzzled
of
about
weird.
this. Like
Yeah,
just gaming in general, nothing makes sense right now. Like unless it's been concrete proven to be coming out, just nothing makes sense right now with the world of gaming this year.
Yeah, definitely not. And this article or this topic in particular, it's just so much of it is speculation, and all these metaphors. You can draw a million conclusions.
Yeah, it's like last week's episode we were talking about the magician and Borderlands 3. Like if you give people like a magic trick, like they'll say, "Oh man, that's real." But if you do something like eat a light bulb, people say it's fake, even though you just ate a light bulb. Like like the whole Pokemon situation right now. Pokemon Go be implemented to a Switch game, and the Switch game being a Gen 1 throwback, even though we had rumors coming out that the trademark for Pokemon Star is a thing, which is in correlation to Gen 7. Like what the hell is that? Versus Sony right now saying their PS4 is dying. Like, what are these companies doing right now in the past 2 years?
This is fucking trippy.
I know, man. Like, it hurts my brain to think about it.
Oh man, they've been in the wrong alleys.
I know, right? This is
very, very sketchy product.
Yeah, let's just move on to the next one. And this is what I meant by like Sony is very weird with their whole practices.
Exactly.
Because
look at this bullshit. Another fucking Sony. What are you guys on, bro?
Yes.
Where'd you buy the shrooms, bro? What the fuck? Get me whatever this fucking CEO is on right now.
I know. Shout out to Forbes for this article. Sony is keeping its portable gaming options open.
What the fuck?
I don't know what they're doing.
Didn't they say something a couple weeks ago about saying fucking PS Vita is shit?
Yes, they did. And they're talking about how the VR didn't sell well like they wanted it to. What are they doing?
They're fucking recycling their own dump, bro.
Dude, it's like those TV shows about hoarders and how hoarders don't want to throw out anything. This is exactly what they're doing, trying to keep the PSP going. This article said they're trying to ride the coattails of the Nintendo Switch success. That's not how it works. You don't ride the coattails of your competitors.
Especially when you fucking threw the console away already.
I know. I don't know anybody who has a PS Vita. I haven't heard any new games that came out for it.
What the fuck is a PS Vita, bro?
I know. What is going on in the gaming world? This is what we're talking about.
Oh, man.
So, like, shout out to the PSP, like, the whole brand. They sold 80 million units, and I believe the PS Vita sold around 60 million, but the Switch outsold it in 1 year. I believe the 3DS also outsold the PS Vita when they first launched. And 80 million units, that sounds really great. That's actually more than the PS4. The thing is, there's been like 10 different PSPs that came out, and handheld gaming is more popular than console gaming. It's easier to buy a handheld. I got 2 DSs I'm looking at right now. So, Sony, you need to get your crap together, trying to keep the PSP alive. Oh, man. People down there in the comment section, answer this for me. Do you think the PSP is going to even hold a candle to Nintendo Switch? Do you even see it having a future? Let that be the sub-question today.
Yeah, man, I think I figured out their metaphor. They're crouching down to look through their own pile of shit to somehow launch themselves into the future.
I think they're crouching down because like they're looking under the couch for like their game. Like I remember I was a kid, I'll sometimes lose my Game Boy under the couch. I had to look under it for it. This is what they're doing with the PSP Vita. Yeah.
They're looking for the fucking PSP. Where did it go?
Oh man. Like bruh, it's like they're playing with it one day, they put it down on the couch, went to get some water, get some food. They came back, they're like, wait, where'd my PS Vita go? They're looking under the couch for it, and they give up after an hour, and they're like, oh hey, wait, it was in the cushions. Like, and they were sitting on it the entire time.
Yeah. Let's fucking rebrand it.
Like people who are watching this know this. This is not anti-Sony whatsoever. I enjoy Sony. I used to own a PS3. My family grew up with a PS2, and I think we got PS1, PlayStation Original in my house somewhere. I am a fan of what Sony's done. I love their exclusives. But just their demeanor this generation has really deterred me away from wanting to like them. I think you can agree with me there.
I hope it's the goal of every gamer to try out every console and stick to what they like, man. I used to be as a little kid, a PlayStation fan for real, and I also had an
Everybody
Xbox in my
was.
house. Yeah, exactly. It's stuff you grow up with. But this, I mean, I've been a let's be honest, I've been a hater with Sony, but this is kind of like weird.
Yeah, no, like the information they've been giving us lately, it's weird. Like you said, they don't want to open up cross compatibility, which means that they'll just have more retention to their consoles. Like if Joe Schmo that we know from our school has Fortnite in the PS4, and we got Fortnite on our Xboxes, and he can't play with us. Well, what incentive does Joe Schmo have to play Fortnite if all of his homies are on the Xbox? You know what I mean? And
Yeah, man.
and then the PSP, like, they just got to know when the cut loose ends. Like the PSP has been dead for the greater half of this decade, longer than that actually, and they want to bring it back. And then they want to tell investors their PS4, which is dominating the market right now, is at the end of its life cycle. Even though it's year 5, we barely hit the halfway point. Like, whether they're doing that to hint the PS5 or to just do damage control to the investors who are actually putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into their company, it just makes no sense to us, the gamers, reading these articles.
It's probably more millions, and which makes even
Actually, I can look up.
less,
I'm gonna look up their stock right now.
and which makes less sense with the moves that they're making.
Oh crap! Stock actually went down.
Oh God.
Stock went down 0.13%. So it's not by a lot. It's like 60. It's like 6 cents. But their stock for Sony Corporation is $40.40. I mean $46.40. So if you got $100, you could get 2 shares of Sony and have some money in your pocket.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's kind of what I mean here. Like Sony, you're doing fine. You're doing great. You're dominating the entertainment market. I'll have to say as well. I think your TVs are just as good as anything that comes out of Samsung, and I think you got a bright future ahead. Like if the PlayStation 4 was to like blow up in your faces at the end of the year, like metaphorically, not on that Galaxy Note grind, but like if sales were to like flop and you only get like 5 million sales this year, you'll still be fine. You won't have to worry about making rent. But come on, you can't make us jump ship with stuff like this.
Yeah,
Oh
man. It's
man.
like with the Vita though, it's like you're flushing. You already goldfish down the toilet, and they're fucking looking down the sewer system for it. Like it's already gone, man.
No, it's like they're playing a guitar, right? And one of the strings breaking the guitar, and they're still trying to play it.
Yeah, bro. It's fucking. Oh man.
Man, this
Well,
is
I mean,
worse
I
than
guess
anything.
I guess
Hmm?
well, I want to hear what people think because this is
Yeah,
an
like
interesting issue.
if you made it this far in the podcast, people, we really want to know your opinion about this because this is just as bizarre as it sounds. Like the article links will be down below. Like that's why I linked them for a reason, so you guys can see the reference point we're coming from. Like there's no like yeah, we're opinionated with this. Don't get us wrong, but we're just we're basing our opinions off what we see in these articles. And if an article says Sony's talking about the PSP coming back, who are we to say that it's a false rumor? If the article by Forbes, somebody more credible than the two of us, says it.
Yeah, Forbes even spoke to the CEO. That you can't really say shit to that.
Mm-hmm. The CEO, uh, is he just CEO of the PlayStation branch or just Sony in general?
I think it's Sony in general.
Okay, actually, you said, yeah, Kenshiro Yoshida. Oh God, their new CEO just got in place in April 1st of this year. So
Codera, right? Codera.
Kodera, that means he's just CEO of the PlayStation brand then. But
Oh,
Sony
okay.
as a whole, they got a new CEO back in April 1st, 2018. I'm surprised they did not cover this at all. Huh. Well, I can't
All
find
these
all
new
the information.
CEOs, man.
Yeah, all these new CEOs, man. This is like GameStop all over again. These new CEOs coming in, shaking things up.
Can
Stocks
I
is
can I
dropping.
can I trade him in for a Switch?
Bruh. If you trade them in the GameStop, you get like 3 cents, maybe 4 cents if you bring in your Power Up Rewards card. But
Okay, it's okay. I'll just bring the cure to cancer so I can get a couple more dollars.
but oh man, bruh. This is just a weird year for gaming. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to Sony actually at E3. I want to see what new games they present. But honestly, I think Sony and Nintendo are going to be holding a candle. I'm not a candle. They're going to be holding a light, like a kind of fire, under Microsoft's ass. If Microsoft and their Xbox division doesn't bring out any first-party exclusives, I think it's going to hurt them a whole lot more than it has these past 4 years, because people are still looking for a reason to get the Xbox Game Pass. And the Xbox Play Anywhere, I only know like one person who uses it, and it's not even one of my friends. My brother told me a coworker at his job uses Xbox Play Anywhere. Not even him.
It's that Minecraft engineer that we talked about. It's that guy.
Bruh. I mean, like I said, we got what? 2 weeks to E3 come out, June 11th through the 13th, I believe. It's E3 this year. June 12th to the 14th. Yeah. It's like it's gonna be a fun time for E3. And as I googled this, I see mention of Animal Crossing. That just made me 100 times happier to read that. Yeah. But next to it is EA. So yeah, that's our week in a nutshell, actually, right there.
Yay.
Well, I guess that's it. If you got nothing else you want to say, bro.
Shout out to Big A that watches these episodes a bunch of times.
Well, I want to say shout out to everybody who do watch this series. Whether you watch it consistently on a weekly basis, use it for background noise, or even just click on the video and check it out for a few minutes. Shout out to all of you guys. Like, you guys are the reason why we still do this. Because if we didn't see any comments and we didn't see any retention from this podcast could have been severed. We couldn't be doing anything else better with our 40 minutes of our lives. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for watching this video. Please be sure to check out the question of the day, and also like the sub question of the days, such as Sony's business decisions. We want to know your opinion, guys. Like, whether you're a Sony fanboy, PC gamer, or I don't know, you play fidget spinner Go on your phone. We want to know what you guys are thinking. Yes, guys. And as he says that, I'm just gonna look at my superior 3DS XL. Yeah, guys. Anyway, I think we're gonna get out of here. This is gonna be coming out Monday, right? So happy Memorial Day to people if you're in the U.S. Happy Monday everywhere else in the world. And I'm out of here, guys. You want to say anything else, Big A?
Barbecue.
Hot wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Good. I thought you were gonna leave me hanging. But yeah, guys, we're about to get out of here. The gates fell open, and I guess gotta close them. And hopefully, I actually beat the Elite Four in the Pokemon Emerald gameplay. So wish me luck, Gary, guys. Bye. That's funny. And